will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking dies!
Sometimes fantasy just can't top real life, and there is no better proof than an excellent movie based on true stories. In this video we are going to highlight the best movies based on real events, with our picks for the top 10 best films based on true stories, as of 2023. These titles are ranked counting down from the ones you should consider watching to our choices for must-watch films, so stick around to see which truthful films you might be missing out on. Let's jump into our list, starting with number 10, The Social Network. When you think about events that truly shaped our world today, you can't overlook the story behind The Social Network. This film covers the story of a young Mark Zuckerberg working to create a social media site that would later become Facebook. The Social Network highlights the events that led to Zuckerberg's success as a billionaire, and the trouble that came after, including legal battles and personal conflict. In today's social media-driven world, it is fascinating to learn about the origins while being impressed by the film itself. Jesse Eisenberg takes the leading role of Mark Zuckerberg, putting on an impressive performance, while Andrew Garfield and Justin Timberlake add to. In watching this film, you will quickly find that the story is interesting, but the filmmaking is even better. The Social Network shines everywhere from its excellent script writing to the great direction. You can find this movie on Prime Video and Apple TV. However, there are many other excellent films to cover, so let's turn to number 9, Dolemite is My Name. This movie is probably the most lighthearted on our list, but it is well worth the watch, featuring an absurdly true story and an unbelievable cast. If you want a movie that recounts real events while also giving you plenty of opportunities for laughs, then this is the one. Dolemite is My Name follows the very real story of a man named Reddy Raymore, a struggling comedian and rapper from the 1970s who developed an over-the-top, obscene but hilarious alter ego, Dolemite, which led to much success. This film covers the absurdity of the events that surrounded the creation of the Dolemite character, and the success that followed. The comedy star power in this one is stronger than you can find almost anywhere, as the film is led by Eddie Murphy as Reddy, with actors like Keegan-Michael Key, Mike Epps, Craig Robinson, and Wesley Snipes behind him. This joyful and entertaining movie is loved by both critics and audiences, so it is well worth your time if you are looking for something to watch. You can catch Dolemite is My Name on Netflix. Let's switch gears from the humorous to the more dramatic as we turn to number 8, Dark Waters. Dark Waters is one of the most chilling true stories you could watch, as the suspense and emotion will grab you immediately. Dark Waters follows the story of lawyer Robert Bylot, played by Mark Ruffalo, as he enters a small town plagued by mysterious deaths and health problems, and ends up representing town residents against a large chemical company. Robert Bylot risks it all to uncover the truth, putting his family, career, and own life in jeopardy, while also having to face large moral dilemmas. Ruffalo puts on an unforgettable performance in this one, delivering all of the passion and tenacity you could imagine from a small lawyer fighting against a massive cover-up from a powerful company. This movie will keep you invested, as the true events it retells are incredibly chilling and open up a ton of room for reflection on our current society. You can watch Dark Waters on Prime Video or Apple TV. There are still plenty of great movies to go, so let's move on to number 7, Straight Outta Compton. When it came out in 2015, Straight Outta Compton was surrounded by tons of hype. This one follows the story of the rappers that molded modern hip-hop into what it is today, surrounding the release of the first NWA album Straight Outta Compton in 1988. The movie captures the way that the upbringing of each of the artists influenced their music, while also highlighting the social realities of living in Los Angeles in the late 80s and early 90s. This biographical drama powerfully highlights the stories of Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and DJ Yella. The direction of F. Gary Gray helps bring this story to life while allowing the music of the era to shine. However, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Corey Hawkins, Jason Mitchell, and the other cast members play an important part in making the story resonate. The added element of how important this time period is to today's music really makes the film stand out. Whether you enjoy hip-hop music or not, the story behind the artists who influenced so many people is interesting enough to make this movie worth watching. You can watch this one on Prime Video or Apple TV. Let's keep our list going by turning to number 6, Spotlight. At number 6, we have another excellent Mark Ruffalo performance for you. Released in 2015, Spotlight follows the true events that took place at the Boston Globe in 2001. The film covers the story of a team of journalists investigate allegations against a high-status priest who was accused of molesting over 80 boys. Led by editor Walter Robinson, played by Michael Keaton, a team of reporters that includes Michael Resendez, played by Mark Ruffalo, works to find proof that the Catholic Church is covering up the priest's abuse. On top of Mark Ruffalo's performance, you can also look forward to Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, and Liev Schreiber. These performances help grasp viewers from start to finish, and the film as a whole feels like a captivating thriller as the dramatic dramatic events play out. Whether you know the full story or not, Spotlight will keep you on your toes. You can watch Spotlight on Prime Video, HBO Max, or Apple TV. Now, let's dive into our top 5 must-see films based on real events, starting with Number 5, The Fablements. Released just last year in 2022, The Fablements is by far the newest movie on this list. But now nominated for several Oscars, it deserves its place among these top movies. Written and directed by Steven Spielberg, the movie follows a young boy named Sammy Fableman, who hopes to become a filmmaker as he grows up. When he uncovers a big family secret, he realizes even more about how the power of film can bring the truth to life through storytelling. This heartfelt and touching story is based on Spielberg's actual childhood growing up in Arizona after World War II. The movie really does feel like a masterpiece, paying homage to the power of movies while giving us an artistic representation of the upbringing of one of the best directors in the industry today. You can find The Fablemans in some theaters still, or on Prime Video and Apple TV. Continuing on with our top 5, let's turn to Number 4, Just Mercy. It's rare you come across a movie with a 99% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, but Just Mercy is certainly worthy of it. Released in 2019, Just Mercy follows Michael B. Jordan playing Brian Stevenson, a Harvard graduate lawyer dedicated to supporting the wrongfully accused and those without legal representation. In one of his first cases in Alabama, he is set to defend Walter McMillan, played by Jamie Foxx. McMillan is on death row for the murder of an 18-year-old girl, but there is evidence that he may be innocent. To defend his client and provide him justice, Stevenson is forced to navigate racism, legal roadblocks, and politics. This movie is highly emotional and incredibly moving in its strong and accurate portrayal of real-life events. The authenticity of Jordan's and Fox's performances make it even more worth watching as they bring their characters depth and passion. You can find Just Mercy on HBO Max, Prime Video, or Apple TV. Now let's cover the movies you absolutely need to have seen, as we dive into our top 3, starting with Number 3, Argo. This thriller/drama provides a hostage film like no other, from its meticulous detail of real events to its strong cast. Argo follows the story of Iranian militants overtaking the U.S. Embassy in 1979, sparking the Iranian hostage crisis. In this portrayal of the events, Benefolk plays Tony Mendez, a CIA agent going into Tehran disguised as a Hollywood producer filming a movie, all with the real goal of rescuing the 6 American hostages. Behind-a-Folk is supported also by the remarkable talents of Alan Arkin, John Goodman, and Bryan Cranston. Argo has received extensive praise since its release in 2012, thanks to its ability to highlight the real tension of the events and accurately portray the history behind them. Altogether, the movie covers the events in impressive detail and will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. You can watch Argo on either Prime Video or Apple TV. After you finish watching Argo, you can make our way to the number 2 movie on our list. Number 2, Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures lives up to the title, highlighting a team of 3 incredible black women who played a crucial part in developing the U.S. space program with their smarts and mathematic intelligence. Despite their massive contributions to NASA during the height of the space race with Soviet Union, their story remained largely unknown. And Hidden Figures did a remarkable job of bringing this story to the surface, highlighting how these 3 mathematicians made their way up the ladder at NASA to calculate one of the biggest launches in history, the launch of astronaut John Glenn into orbit. The cast only adds to this movie, featuring excellent performances from Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe in the lead roles. Behind them is even more talent, including Kirsten Dunst, Jim Parsons, and Kevin Costner. The movie does an incredible job showcasing the tenacity of these 3 historical figures, as they power through racism, sexism, and outright disrespect to make their mark on history. Of course, while mixing the lighthearted humor that the 3 leads are known for. Released in 2016, Hidden Figures is just as worth watching today as when it first came out. And you can find it on Disney+, Prime Video, or Apple TV. Finally, we have reached the top of our list, bringing us to the number 1 movie that highlights real events. Number 1, Wolf of Wall Street.
You piece of shit. What? Brad! Huh? Brad! Brad! You fucking break your face!
Coming up on its 10-year anniversary, Wolf of Wall Street is without a doubt one of the most popular movies of the last decade. The Wolf of Wall Street does much more than just recount the true story of wealthy stockbroker Jordan Belfort, but it is genuinely entertaining from start to finish. The film follows Belfort's life from his rise to riches to his fall from the top, including his involvement in crime and corruption. From its dramatic events to its humorous asides, Wolf of Wall Street is a classic. The star-studded cast helps this film as lovable as it is, as it features great performances from Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Margot Robbie, and Matthew McConaughey. However, Martin Scorsese's direction is really what takes this film to the next level, blessing us with detailed storytelling that pushes the limits. If you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, it should be the next thing you watch. If you have, then it is well worth revisiting. You can watch it on Prime Video, Paramount Plus, or Apple TV. So there you have it, our picks for the top 10 movies that cover true events. It was hard for us to choose just 10, so let us know your thoughts. Which of these movies are you going to check out next? Which movies do you think should have been on this list? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date with the hottest films and TV shows that you need to watch. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video.